The majority of what causes our suffering nowadays, the depression, anxiety, loneliness, addiction, even eating disorders, what is at the root of all of these things is actually a lack of connection. Take a moment and I want you to think about the most impactful moments of your entire life so far. Moments of absolute, just overwhelming love and joy. This could be the birth of a child. Maybe it was a marriage. Maybe it was when you finally achieved this sense of living your purpose. Maybe it was a spiritual experience. All of these things share one thing in common, and that is a sense of connection. Wherever it is that you are seeking to connect more deeply, know that it is available for you. It is possible, it is your essence, it is in your nature to be connected. And so in this video today, we're going to explore how. How can you connect more deeply in all aspects of your life? First is to connect more deeply with yourself. This is where it starts. When you can recognize who and what you are and what is at the essence of who you are, it makes everything so much easier. It makes life so much easier. So what can you do to connect more deeply, specifically to yourself? Number one is self-awareness, self-reflection, and introspection. And I have an entire video. I think it was the second one in the self-love series. And so I'll link that for you guys below. But that really dives into the specifics of mindfulness and self-awareness. So I would highly recommend checking out that video if you haven't already seen it. So I'm not going to go into too much detail here and repeat myself, but of course, meditation, journaling, these are two really, really powerful ways to get into a deeper state of self-reflection and self-awareness. If you're not somebody who wants to just sit and meditate, you can go out and spend time in nature and just be with your thoughts, not with your phone. Allow yourself to get to know yourself. Get to know what your likes and your dislikes are. Understand your own values and what is important to you. Understand what you are triggered by or what you react to, how you react to different things. Just start to notice yourself. Be in a state of non-judgment. Just observe and start to reflect on who you are. And is that the person that you want to be? If not, great, that's okay. At least now you have that state of awareness, which is the first step to move forward. So again, I would check out my mindfulness video to get more information on this, and I will link that below. Another way to connect more deeply to yourself is to connect to your intuition, to what your gut is really telling you you need or you want. What is your yes? What is your no? And to honor your intuition. Because so often, I think especially for women, we have a really, really strong intuitive sense, but we tend to push it aside to listen to the voice in our head, the thoughts, the analytical mind, instead of listening to the feelings in the body, the intuitive sense. So start to get more in tune with what your intuition is telling you. And there are many different ways to tap into the intuition. If you want a separate video on that, let me know. But yeah, start to really listen to and honor your intuition. Also connecting to your voice. This is so incredibly powerful to be able to connect to your own sense of expression. So whether that means literally just speaking up when you feel the need to speak up and to speak to your truth, or maybe that means singing or humming or vocal activation. There's many different practices, chanting, different things like that. You could sing as you play an instrument, but getting in touch with your voice is a really beautiful way to get in touch with yourself and your spirit. We are vibrational beings, and we are meant to be in resonance in the same way that music is in resonance, and we can use our voices to tap into that space. And also any form of creative expression, allowing your creativity to flow, drawing, playing an instrument, cooking, maybe it's gardening, writing, dancing. Feel into what feels good for you. If you think about what we came from, however you want to look at it, God, source, creator, but even if you look at it from a scientific perspective and you just think of the Big Bang, this was a spark of creation that led to the creation of everything. So we're meant to be creative beings, and tapping into your own source of creativity is a beautiful way to get in touch and connect with yourself. Also connecting with your passions. What lights you up? What brings you joy? What do you want to explore or learn more about or dive deeper into? Another really important aspect of connecting with yourself is having self-respect. And this means keeping your promises to yourself. So start to notice when you are not respecting yourself, when you are saying that you will do something that you know is important for you, for your health, for your well-being, and when are you not following through? And do your best to keep your promises to yourself. It is the most important promise you will ever keep. Be willing to be alone with yourself. You cannot really connect with yourself if you aren't willing to sit alone in a room with yourself or go on a walk with yourself without being distracted by your phone. I was listening to someone, and I can't remember who it is, but she was saying that she had this realization recently that she was never allowing herself to be alone in silence and stillness with herself, that no matter what she was doing, she either had a podcast playing in the background or music playing in the background or affirmations, or she was watching a YouTube video. Even like when she went on walks, she was listening to something, and there was never this allowance of just being with herself in solitude. And that is so critical. It is not something that we can ignore, although it can be really challenging, and I understand that. It is challenging for me too. But if you think about it, if you're trying to connect with someone else, another person, you spend time with them. So we have to be able to spend time with ourselves. Just start to notice when in your day are you preventing yourself from being able to really be with yourself, and how can you open up a little bit more space? Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's journaling, maybe it's going on a walk without distraction. Maybe it's getting ready in the morning without listening to something in the background and just being with your thoughts. You will actually notice that this makes a really big difference. It is also really, really important that you connect with your body. From a deeper spiritual level, you are not your body, but your body is your home in this lifetime. It is your temple in this human experience. And so we have to treat it with love, treat it with respect, and connect to this vessel that is carrying us through life. So the first thing that you can do here is simply listen to your body. Honor your body and what it needs. If your body is asking for more food, have more food. If your body is asking for water or movement, maybe your body is asking for rest and deep sleep or just a break. Start to listen to what your body is asking for and actually honor it, rather than pushing through or just doing what you always do or what your mind tells you you need to do in that moment. Another great thing here are mind-body practices. So things like yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong. Yoga means union. So yoga, it's about connection. It's about connecting more deeply to yourself, connecting more deeply to your breath, to your body. It can be a more intense, vigorous flow to really get your body moving. It can be a more calming, restorative flow to tap into a space of restoration and stillness and recovery and rest, if that is what you need. It's a beautiful practice to help with stress or anxiety. So something like yoga, qigong, those are really beautiful, energetic practices that will help us to connect more deeply to ourselves. One of my other absolute favorites when it comes to connecting to the body is dancing, or just some form of expressive movement. If you are not a dancer, it is okay. I am not really either. I wouldn't say that I'm like a good dancer, but I love it. I love the way I feel. There's such an emotional and energetic release when you allow your body to move freely and just dance. If you have never been to an ecstatic dance, I would highly recommend it, or like a 5 rhythms dance. So much fun, such an amazing release. So beautiful for connecting to your own body and connecting to other people. So yeah, dance. Also self-care, nurturing the body with adequate rest, nutrition, really fueling your body with the food that it needs, and adequate movement. Our bodies are not meant to be stagnant. They want to move. We are meant to be active beings. We're definitely not meant to be sitting as much as we are. And I know that that's harder for some people, depending on your job, depending on your lifestyle, but do your best. Even if it's like when you work a 9 to 5, get up every 30 minutes and walk to the bathroom, or go get a glass of water and just keep your body moving. I would say in this category also mindful eating. This is a really beautiful way to connect with yourself, and it's really hard, at least for me. I know that I am someone who it's challenging for me to sit down with food and be in complete silence and stillness by myself and eat. I always want to distract myself by watching something or listening to something, or if I'm having a meal with someone else, it's a little bit different. But being mindful with your food is another opportunity to be present and connect with yourself. So if that is something that feels challenging for you, I actually recommend even more that you give yourself the opportunity to practice it a little bit more often. Take time every single day to just be with your breath. Just sit, and you can place your hands on your heart and just be with yourself, be with your breath, be with your heart. If you do not follow anything else on this list of suggestions, if once a day you can just sit and be with your breath, I promise you that that will make a difference in your life. Okay, I said that I was gonna talk about this in the last video, so here we go. I mentioned the nervous system in that video, and I wanted to dive into that just a little bit more here, because when it comes to the self, when it comes to the body, this is such a crucial element to being able to connect in all ways. And also, you know, all of these videos we're talking in a part about self-love. And so to be able to feel safe in a space of love with yourself or with others, we have to be able to calm and feel safe in the nervous system. When it is imbalanced, when we are in this state of fear or fight or flight, it's really hard to feel at peace, to feel safe in a space of love. And what is so fascinating on a more spiritual level when it comes to the nervous system is that it is actually considered to be the pathway of consciousness into the body. The nervous system is like the connecting point between our spiritual selves and our physical body. So when our nervous system is grounded, is safe, is flowing and clear and open, we are actually able to connect more deeply with this kind of spiritual self, with this divine consciousness that allows us to manifest, that allows us to step into our purpose in this lifetime, that allows us to really step into this embodiment of who you are here to be. And I have an entire video about that. Like, that's all that I talk about, is how we can ground and regulate the nervous system. So I will link that right up here, and you guys can check that out after this video. The next step, and when I say next step, all of this can be done together. But another thing to focus on is our connection, of course, with others, creating or building a sense of community. We are meant to be connected to other people. Our brains literally light up when we connect with other people. But also as souls, we are interconnected. From a deeper level, we are all one consciousness. So we are, in so many different ways, we are meant to experience connection with other people in this human experience. Even if you've seen the blue zones, one thing that all of these different blue zones have in common is some form of connection to other people, some sort of strength in community, whether that is the community that they live in or grew up in, or maybe it's a spiritual community that they're a part of. But there's always, always, always some kind of strong sense of community in these blue zones where people have a really long lifespan, like living to be over 100 years old. So this plays a part in our longevity. Connection encompasses a sense of unity and connection to all beings. It really involves recognizing the self in others, recognizing the divine in others, and recognizing the inherent worth in all beings. And so through that recognition, it's easier to feel a sense of connection, of empathy, of compassion, of kindness. This is where the saying comes from, what you do to others, you do to yourself, because there is this sense of interconnectedness. Truly, when you hurt someone else, you are hurting yourself. And you may not feel it in that exact moment, but we cannot harm another being without inflicting some kind of harm upon ourselves as well, and vice versa. And also, the beautiful side of this is when we give love to other people, when we show kindness and compassion, all of that is being sent back to ourselves as well. And so when it comes to connecting to other people, yes, of course, spend time with the people that you love and surround yourself with people who uplift you, but also notice when you are in moments where you might not be feeling as compassionate or as kind. And maybe take a pause and ask yourself, where are you feeling disconnected from this person? Can you see them for who they are? Can you see them in you and see yourself in them? That doesn't mean that you have to be loving and kind all the time. There is a time and a space to express our boundaries and to put our foot down and to say no and all of these different things. It's just about having awareness in those moments for when is it time to set the boundaries, or when is it time to have a little bit more compassion and connect more deeply with this person in this moment. Surround yourself as much as possible with the people who are uplifting, who are supportive, who encourage you to live the life that you desire, to follow your dreams, to do what you are capable of doing, who believe in you. And at the same time, start to let go of the people in your life who are not encouraging you to be who you know you are meant to be. Who are not necessarily supportive, or who even just energetically tend to drag you down. Our life is essentially a reflection, and we tend to be the most like the 5 people that we are closest to. So if you think of the 5 people who you spend the most time with, who you are closest to in your life, do you want to be like those people? Do you want to be living the life that those people are living? And believing, embracing the thoughts that those people believe and think. Finally, in the category of spending time with other people is meet new people. This is one of the best things that you can do to expand your community, is to get out and do something different. Surround yourself with people who you have never met before. Maybe there's something that you like to do. Maybe it's hiking or yoga or cooking. Go and get involved in a group or in a class, or go to a retreat with like-minded people. Go to church, whatever you are inspired by, whatever lights you up. Put yourself in a position where you can meet more people who are into the same things. Or on the flip side, Go and do something that you don't know anything about. And maybe you haven't even explored that thing before, but that is a beautiful opportunity to meet some different people who maybe you wouldn't have otherwise met, but you could learn so much about, and they could teach you new perspectives and new ideas and new belief systems that actually could be so supportive to you. Allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone and go and meet and connect with new people. The next opportunity for deeper connection is with nature. If you look, for example, at indigenous cultures, there is such a deep, deep reverence to the earth and to nature. Like I said before, this is exploring an interconnectedness with all living beings, and that includes the earth. So for some of you, this may be getting like a bit wooey beyond your normal level, but I truly believe, like, to me, there is no question the earth is a living being. Mother Earth is a consciousness and is a conscious being herself. And so when we talk about this concept of interconnectedness with all beings, that includes the earth. So connecting more deeply to the earth might just involve spending more time in nature. You know, maybe you go on more walks outside, maybe you go hiking or camping. This could mean being more environmentally friendly or practicing more eco-consciousness, being more aware of what you are using and how you are possibly contributing to what is happening environmentally in our world right now, and how you can make some changes in your life to protect the earth. This could also mean living more harmoniously or in sync with the seasons, with the cycles of the earth herself. A deeper connection to nature has, at least for me, been one of the greatest gifts that I received from my time traveling. Through that whole experience, I connected so much more deeply to nature, and that has had a really profound impact on my life. That is one thing. When I don't feel good, when I don't feel like myself, I will go and I will get out in nature and I will go take a walk, and that almost immediately brings me to a different energetic state. It grounds me, it makes me feel safe and at peace, and it's just such a beautiful opportunity for connection. And the final form of connection, of course, is to connect more deeply to something greater than yourself, to connect more deeply on a spiritual level. As I mentioned before, this could look like many different things, and so just follow what feels good for you. If this is God, if this is creator, source, Allah, the universe, consciousness, maybe it is just your higher self. Perhaps it is even just with your own inner mission, your own inner authority. Start to connect with, start to engage with a spiritual practice that resonates for you. This could be through prayer, it could be through meditation, it could even be through chanting or kirtan, having an altar or a ritual space for yourself. Or maybe it is reading a holy book, whatever that specific book is for you. And even things like breath work, like dancing, spending time with nature, all of these can be spiritual practices. I mean, if we're thinking about it, really anything can be an opportunity for a spiritual practice if you are present with yourself and present with whatever you deem to be that higher power. At the end of the day, we are connecting with something that brings us back to this deep feeling, this deep space of inner peace and love. I hope you found this video helpful. I am so grateful for you, and until next time, I will see you in the next video.